Dr. Kudo Eresia Eke is the General Manager External Relations of the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Company Limited, NLNG. He's the man assigned by his organization to coordinate the biggest literary prize in Africa. That's the Nigeria Prize for Literature, which offers $100,000 to one outstanding writer every year. Dr. Kudo Eresia Eke is a poet, writer, and author of several books. As a busy business executive for a large organization, how does he create the time to read and write? We recently discussed this, plus a range of other issues, including his works and the Nigeria Prize for Literature. Enjoy our chat. Doctor, nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Kunle.
Great to have you here.
Yeah.
You are a very busy executive, but you've written so many books. Songs of Life, Things Men Do, Bee-Buzz and Baby Babble, interesting topic. When Spirit Sings, How to Be an A Student, Secrets of Outstanding Persons. How do you manage to do this? When did you write this?
Well, I've just written them along the line. Sometimes they don't start off like things I want to write into a book, but it just happens that they develop their own life, as I walk along. And truly it's been difficult to find time to just sit. I'm looking forward to that day when I'll just wake up in the morning and just read and write. I think the day would come. Okay. It's on its way. But now I just have to be a bit eclectic with my reading and my writing. So for instance, if I'm in the aircraft and for 1 hour I'm flying between Lagos and Abuja, and I can switch up my phone and no one else is going to talk to me, and then the creative fluid can just flow and I can write a poem.
Right. Yeah. I meet so many people who want to write and they want to read, but their constant complaint is no time.
Yeah.
No time.
Yeah.
No time. Mm. I think they should be talking to people like you.
Yeah. I think it's something, especially in today's world, you have to do lots of things to try to make ends meet for the most part. But I think that if you are in a mold of, if you like, a prophet, someone that's on a mission, and who has to do what you have to do, there's a message which you have in you that necessarily needs to go out. It doesn't matter how busy you are, it will find you out. And except you respond, you'll be haunted in a way. You have this hollowness all around you. And so it doesn't matter how, my advice would be, if I were asked to do that, my advice would be, it doesn't matter how little the time, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes you have, because the muse is around, just scribble what you have and get on to the other things you have to do.
So you are really passionate about literature. You are, apparently.
I love literature.
Writing, reading, promoting a famous literary prize in Nigeria.
I'm glad.
Is it a coincidence that you are the one coordinating the Nigeria Prize for Literature from the organization's angle?
I would suggest that literature is a being. And literature recruits for itself its own vehicles that will help to propagate its message. So I am there by accident, so it would seem, but I think literature needs someone like me there at this time.
As a way of finding people like you. Okay, now you do poetry. Yes, I can see poetry here. You do short stories. Then you do what I might call inspirational or instructional, and all that. So, which is your passion, really? Is it poetry? Which is your love, your first love?
I'm really comfortable in all, really, truly. I'm comfortable in all. But the one that takes the least amount of time, the ones that can just, begin and finish, is poetry for the most part. Okay. Within an hour, I could actually do a poem, review, correct, and just, because it's not, the truth is, we're just messengers. We're just channels. We're just vehicles. We're not the creators of these works of art. These works of art are already created. but just that they happen to be in some transcendental form, in an area where we cannot easily reach as human beings. But because you are tuned, you know, as a, if you like, as an artistic priest, then you are given an opportunity to receive those vibrations. That's when you feel that there's a muse, and then you have to write it down. So basically, you're transporting something that's elsewhere down here for the usefulness of life.
Okay. The most developed countries in the world just happen to be the countries that appreciate the arts and literature the most. Is that a coincidence?
It is not a coincidence because really, I mean, without communication, there is no social life. And without social life, the human being is an animal, really. Because what defines us, we are a gregarious, you know, form of creation. So we love to socialize. But to socialize, we need the network. And that network is only developed and maintained by communication. And that communication comes in artistic forms. And that artistic form is literature. So literature is really what binds us together. Literature is the band that holds us together. Even sometimes we do not recognize it. It is a vehicle by which we communicate and we hold each other together as a social organization or as a society or even as a family. Literature is what really hands down history, folklore, culture, from place to place, from organization to organization, from age to age. So literature is is a glue that holds us together. Sometimes we do not quite appreciate or respect it for what it is, but in the end, it's literature that will define us.
I recently had two guests, and we spoke about literary prizes. And yeah, they were very happy about literary prizes, the idea behind literary prizes. But there was this criticism about putting in so much money into one prize, you know, when money could be put into some other uses, you know, and all that. So what do you think? The Nigeria Prize for Literature has a $100,000 prize award for the winner. And Abubakar Adam Ibrahim just won himself that amount recently. How do you respond to that?
My response is that writers write not for money, but sometimes you need a prize just as a basis, a means of encouragement. So typically, every writer continues to write because he has no choice but to write. That's why he's a writer. You know, it's not writing is not a vocation. It's not something you want to do because you want to earn a living. It's more akin, as I said, to the priesthood of our old times, where you're possessed and you necessarily have to write for you to retain your sanity. So writers, no, seriously. So writers must write. That is their calling. It's a calling, not a vocation. Yeah? So that's what they have to do. So from that point of view, it is not the money. The money is only there to help, to entice, to get people to get serious and to do it well. And if someone wins it, I'm sure the person who was speaking to you, if he were the one, if he were Ibrahim of today, for example, he wouldn't say that to you, would he? So that's it. I mean, let there be a prize that everyone around Africa, and especially in Nigeria, can look up to as the grand prize. And that's what the Nigeria Prize for Literature is.
Well, that's interesting. Doc, thank you very much. Nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
I'm delighted to have been here.
Well done.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome.
Well done indeed.
Well, it has been fun being your host today. I am Olakule Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.